Well, sandblasters came here this morning, sandblasted all the beams. I didn't record any of it because it was so loud, it was so messy, you couldn't come anywhere near here. Been vacuuming up sand or blasting media for hours. And just like everywhere is this. This was kind of a bad idea. This sand, he was sanding this little area here. And just a ton of it went everywhere. He blasted this thing. So this is much better. This is going to be repainted. This was all burnt. But the gosh darn sand and just so much dust came in the house. So I've been dusting. Just everything was covered in dust. So, like it was, and also I paid $1,000 for it. So there's that. The rationale was that those beams, to cut them down, haul them off, try to put in something else. We talked about other patios, and I looked at different patio packages where they come and they erect aluminum beams and they put up a cover, and you could spend $10,000, So I'm like, okay, for $1,000, we take steel I-beams and the steel that holds them up. We don't have to weld anything. They sandblast it, we repaint it. Then, for maybe very little money, I'm supposed to be picking up the same type of corrugated steel. It's been there for 50 years. It would have been fine had it not been on fire. We replace it and just kind of do it exactly like it was, maybe a little better. It only costs a couple $1,000 because the modern patios that they do are just that. What was there, you could park a car on it. Everybody's got their ideas. Everybody's got their ideas. Trust me, I hear it not only in the comments, but from everybody I know. You should do this, you should do that. You should do this, you should do that. Meanwhile, I'm paying the bill. But it's not just about the bill. It's about getting it done. Look how long this has been going on. So, a little bit of progress downstairs. Not a whole lot to show, but I'll show you. So, keep in mind it's Monday. They put up some insulation here. Did a little work up there. They kind of backed this in a little and insulated it. We're going to get that filled in soon. They worked on this area today. This has all been redone. This area. But they were distracted with some electrical work that we did. We had to fix a couple of plugs that weren't working properly. Getting more materials. But the majority of the stuff back here is done. This hallway, finally. This hasn't been done for reasons. This is all done. Matter of fact, they're talking about taking one of the toilets and just stabbing it in over here so that they got an extra peep spot. But this is a special material that's going to go in here because this is going to get tiled. They're getting ready to cut this out. They were going to do it today. To cut this out, break it up, because we're going to move that to where the tub drain will be. So, it's a Monday. Let's see what happens tomorrow. All right, so this only took like 5 years to make happen. So finally got this receptacle tied to the switch with this fan blowing out. So that should create more vacuum to suck the smoke out. Hopefully that's enough to do what I need to do to cook. I'll clean this area up again. But it is nice having that access. Let's test it out. Sounds the same. See, feel. Oh yeah. That's way more powerful. That's what I needed. Like, it didn't even hardly hold the paper. Yeah. So, all right, well, cool. All right, so now I think I can cook in here finally. and that'll create some airflow. There's air blowing out of there. I can hear it. So that was the goal, and it works. Cool. I have exhaust. Okay, this is Tuesday. They were cutting on this, and gotten some more things done. You know, you've seen all this before. We've been working on this entry area, this closet today. Mostly worked on doing the staircase, which is complicated. A lot of weird shapes and things like that. So that's all rocked in and started on my office wall. Getting that done. Did some stuff outside as well. But yeah, it's a whole different thing. I mean, the air conditioning is staying nice and cool. Now that we have this up here closed, almost. This is a big gaping hole. Tons of heat coming through here. But yeah, so like all this area, it's just kind of a pain to do, as you can tell. We're gonna start mud soon. Like I said, it's only Tuesday. An awful lot of work has been done over the last couple of months. Lots gonna happen this month. In the next couple of weeks, all the windows are being replaced. Mud finishing is gonna be done. Paint. So the goal is to have the house like done. And I'm not sure what level of doneness it will be. Might still be baseboards and things like that. And we still have to move in, decorate and all that kind of thing. But to be living here in a month, that's a dream. I was just sitting down doing some math. I don't know if I should even discuss this. I'm still working on this math, but I've clearly spent, I'm gonna say 150,000 or more. It's actually probably more than that. That's about what's been spent in the last 3-4 months. No joke. Labor, materials, like, you know, just some of these bigger ticket items, windows, 10 grand, air conditioner, 25 grand. You know, I've spent, I think 30,000 or something in labor with this one particular crew that's working with me. I've spent, bought like, I don't know, 15 grand worth of carpet and flooring. Another like $10,000 worth of cabinets, countertops, constant trips to Home Depot, Harbor Freight, buying tools, Amazon. I order like those spiral rolls of sheetrock screws because they're cheaper on Amazon. I get like 4 or 6 buckets of those every time I order at, you know, 30 bucks a piece or whatever, but they're like 40, 50 bucks a piece if I go to Home Depot. So yeah, you know, the initial estimate to rebuild the house was going to be over 200,000, maybe 250. And I thought that was just absurd. I thought that those numbers were absurd. And it's getting to be a lot, you know, like we still have so much to do. And don't forget, I mean, some of this money is like, you know, the big black couch that I had that was downstairs, that couch, I ordered another one of those. That was like almost, I think 4,500 bucks, you know. Furniture, you know, this couch was 2 grand. Like going to the ATM, getting cash. There's some of these guys I got to pay cash. I think I've spent 25,000 in cash. $100 bills, paid this guy, that guy, that, you know, I just paid $1,000 for that guy to do the sandblasting. Pool guy I'm giving him, I don't know how many $1,000 bucks. You know, buying every single fixture, lamp, you know, as you've been watching, like I went to Home Depot yesterday, spent, I don't know, 400 or 500 bucks buying fixtures, but like, you remember, like I had to replace all these fixtures, all this paint, you know, cleaning supplies. Now, that's just in the last couple of months. That's not including what happened months ahead of time before that. So, you know, ServPro charged 50,000 something dollars. Alliance that did the abatement charged 70,000. That's $125,000 right there. Plus they've been paying, I I think they're paying like $7,500 a month for the house that they're renting for us. That's a fully furnished, all bills paid, everything. And it's fully furnished, like we're talking plates, silverware, everything, right? And we've been there for what? We've been there for 7 or 8 months or something. They're renting those pods out there for I don't know how much. And then we were renting generators, all kinds of things, right, that we rent and pay, you know. So replacing furniture. But here's some of the good news about that, as they still owe me for a lot of this, because even though they've paid for a good portion of certain things, for instance, personal property we haven't even got into, like for instance, I expect to be reimbursed for this couch. I expect to they're supposed to pay me for the air conditioning. So they're still going to owe me supplemental for the construction, but they're also going to owe me for other things that weren't part of the construction. You know, like repairing the pool and the air conditioning, replacing the furniture, replacing personal items, such as just, you know, and then we got to work on the depreciation of all of the things like, you know, the drums up there or the guitars that were all damaged. You know, like I still have them, but the value's been diminished, right? Like this chair. Like I'm gonna argue that this chair, like it's got a big stain. Oh, my finger's in the way. I should have flipped the camera. But anyway, it's so these were here in here, and in the process of trying to clean them, because it's aniline dyed leather, like they're damaged. They're darker. They don't look the same. I'm gonna say, hey, these chairs are kind of, you know, ruined. And just I had to replace the TV and the electronics because they told me that you have to replace those things. They're gonna have to pay for the replacement of the appliances, because even though I still have them here, like this trash here, hold on. For instance, this trash can was sitting here, right? And see how it had like a laminate coating, and this was all like just burned off, I guess. We cleaned it, but you can see it's ruined. Just like see this shit don't come off. Right? See how this from the fire, right? That stuff doesn't come off. So I expect to be reimbursed for these appliances, whether I keep them or not. They owe me for them. I had to replace these because these things, these three appliances were just like blackened way worse than this. This whole area was black. We cleaned the shit out of it. I mean, we cleaned like you wouldn't believe to get it like this. I mean, this whole room was a different color, if you remember. This whole room was a completely different color. So a lot of work, just a lot of work, has gone in to get it to this point. And we still have a lot more to go. So there's no doubt to me that the total repair of this is going to exceed $500,000. I don't know. All right, so next morning, I've been dreaming about this since last night. Got my behinds beans. Yes, they're genuine. Cannot find bangers or rashers here. So I just got some Canadian bacon. Got some eggs going. Got some potatoes, some mushrooms. You know, I have to work with what I got. Yes, I keep these on hand. Oh, I forgot my tomato. I forgot the tomato. I can't believe I almost forgot me tomato. This takes usually the longest. You want to get that good grill char on it. Like, oh yeah, right? So look, I can only do with what I got. I got to find a place to get bangers, proper bacon, but I got the beans, but I got kind of an English breakfast here. Sort of, kind of. I'm working with what I got. I haven't been able to make breakfast for myself in like a year, right? It's the first time since sometime last summer I've got to do this. So I'm just thrilled. And there it is. Look at that. I know there's my Brit friends are going to complain that I don't have bangers and etc. I'm working with what I got. They don't sell that stuff here, so I got to import some bangers and rashers, but pudding and things like that. But hey, it's as close as I can get to an English breakfast. I'm thrilled. This is awesome. Well, it's Friday morning. didn't get a chance to get a lot of video because a lot of the things they were doing were just really noisy, you know. So just show you basically what's going on. Supposed to be some dudes doing mud coming today. We're gonna start mud. So excited for mud. They were in here with a jackhammer, an electric jackhammer, and a saw, breaking this up because we have to move that drain over there and for the bathtub. And I discovered that they make a paint, a red paint. Turn this light on. And we're gonna paint the tub red. And I've decided not to do the bathroom in white. We're gonna do it in black. And then we're gonna paint the walls potentially gold. I'm playing around with some color things. Because remember, we're gonna have black cabinets with a black countertop, right? So I'm thinking about just doing black floors as well. I ordered a black toilet, which is getting delivered today, a black bidet. One of those egg-shaped toilets. It's gonna be cool. So we're thinking about doing this all black, gold, and red. A lot like Siegfried and Roy's place. And they still have to, they haven't done it yet, but they got to break up this concrete here because this cast iron pipe is cracked and they want to remove it. And it's going to be a big cluster F. And I was like, you know, I don't think it's a big deal because it's just a sink drain pipe. Not a lot of water's going through there. It's not a big deal. They want to fix it. I don't think it's a problem. But everything's sheetrock, basically. They forgot this little corner. What the hell? You know, but I mean, the closets and everything, and finally my room. Except they haven't gotten the bottom part yet. They still got to do the bottom, but this is all concrete, and it has to be tap-conned in, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing some other work out here, and what they're going to do, as I was showing before, is they cut this little valley here. We're going to have an electrical box pop up out of here because the tiki bar is going to sit here. And I said, you know, I always had to have an extension cord come out here. It was dumb. So they're going to run a proper buried line. It's going to pop up out of a box like you would have somewhere. No more movement on the pool. Dude still hasn't ordered the tile. That's moving pretty slowly. This is all the scrap, which is going to collapse that fence, these guys. So that's the upgrade so far. Basically, but at least, you know, my room is this is a nice sized room, you know, for an office, a hangout. Notice I had them put this plug here because, and they put foam in all of them. They got to trim it out. But this is where my neon sign was, and now instead of having a line drop down to there, it'll be plugged right in. You know, just little things like that that you can add while you can. And then the other thing they did was, you know, they got the stairwell all boxed in, which makes me happy. And then up here, we spray filled with cellulose. So what they did was these guys worked overnight. They came back and worked from midnight till they left at 8 in the morning. Because even with the foam, it was just too hot. You know, 100 and something degrees up there. Now, comparatively, it would have been like twice as hot. It would have been so unbearably hot, you wouldn't be able to even, you know, move. So they did it overnight, so it'd be slightly less hot. But between the foam on the ceiling, on the surface of the roof, and then the fill, it ought to be, I mean, I came in here, actually I just turned the air conditioner off because I came in here at 70 degrees. You know, it's 71 now. But I had turned it off because it was just freezing in here. And, come on, these touchscreen things suck. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so, and I change these filters like constantly. I did buy the K&N ones, and they do work. They do work. But I don't know if they work as well as the paper ones or not. I mean, I clean these every day. I change them every day. But I still had some of these, so I figured I'll just put these in there. But I change them out every day, sometimes twice a day, depending on how much stuff is going on in here. And then I have that other machine as well. So we're very close. Here it is, August 1st. It's Friday. Can we make it? I think we can. I mean, the goal is to be moved in here before the end of the month. Our party is on August 31st, the pool party. Even if I'm not like living here, the house is going to be done enough. And really, the party's going to all happen upstairs. There's nothing happening down here. The only thing that would be useful would be if this bathroom were complete. At least the toilet and a door. If at least there's a toilet and a door, and people can pee in there, that'd be great. But we can't live here until that bathroom in there is absolutely complete. Like complete, done, complete. When that's done, we can move in. Because coming in here, like once you mud this room, right, which will take a day, and then it's painted and carpeted, et cetera, et cetera. And then you come in, plop the baseboards in. I do want to put crown molding in here, which it had before, which was very nice. It's going to be wonderful. But things like adding the sconces or whatever, those can all be added later. Now, here's the thing. We really, no matter what, we're not going to be able to do anything until at least the third week of August. Meaning that I think in 2 weeks or less, they're coming, I think the 13th or 14th or 15th. All of the windows are going to be replaced. All of the windows. That means all the sills, they're ripping all this out. But these aluminum windows are going to be easy. They just pop them out and they're going to put another one in that hole. But these other windows that have been here since 1973, these are single pane wooden windows. They're going to have to rip out all this woodworking, I don't know if they can leave that sill there. They probably will. But they're making custom vinyl windows that are going to fit into that space, that are double paned. The guy told me, he goes, oh, like it's double pane UV glass filled with nitrogen sealed, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, cool. So that's going to help with the thermal retention and also UV blocking. And then I'm also going to block the window anyway. It doesn't matter. So I wanted to put in black vinyl windows, but black vinyl windows literally cost a third more and take twice as long to get. And everybody said don't get the black windows because the black vinyl will just heat up and the sun on it all day and they'll be, So we're going to do white windows. Anyway, I've met so many of you. For those of you that I've met in person, out and about, I just want to say thank you for saying hello. That was really cool. I appreciate it. I think we're going to make it. We've got 30 days. 30 days to get all this done. And I think if I just keep cracking on, it's going to happen. And I've been cooking in here every day. I've been making my English breakfast every day. I came in here yesterday and I might cook me up some eggs and potatoes right now. I just picked me up another bucket of lard. This is, I use Wagyu lard. And I fry French fries, egg rolls. I like to make chicken nuggets. Everything's better with lard. Just telling you, this is the way of the future. I'm not making a joke. Real beef tallow. This is free endorsement. I usually use this other, it's called South Chicago brand. What I'm gonna do is just pick you up a fry basket and then a big noodle pot like this, and you're in business. Because last year what I did at the party, for those of you that were here, I went to Sam's Club. I bought those little, they're Chick-fil-A rip-off chicken nuggets, which are brined in pickle juice. That's their secret. And I deep fried those in the beef tallow and then served them on Hawaiian rolls with a little square of cheese and a little Chick-fil-A or some mayonnaise. They were flying off the plates as fast as I could put them together. People were loving them, loving them. So that's a good one you can do. And they were going, why are these so good? I go, dude, it's the lard. It's the beef tallow. You know, you got to think, for thousands of years, ever since man learned how to cook, we were cooking in animal fat. There was no such thing as a seed oil. There was no such thing as canola oil. There was no such thing as Crisco and manufactured. These are the things that make us sick. And the hottest restaurants in town are all using Wagyu beef lard. They're using like that with Love Always that I did on my Bobby's Vegas channel. That's why they're one of the hottest places in town. They cook in just beef lard. And I'm just recommending you start doing it. It's way healthier for you. Believe it or not, you've been lied to all these years that lard is bad for you. There's a guy that I watch on TikTok and on YouTube and Facebook named Granddad Joe, who's in England. He's 92 years old, and the dude eats a stick of lard a day. I'm telling you, lard is the way. All right. We will continue this video later, and this is where we are so far. Doesn't seem like much work is done, but when you get down to the details and stuff, that's when the hard stuff, you know, it's like you can see the big changes when they're putting up things, but once the details go in, there you go. Here's the my little Black Forest cloth. You have to hand wind this every day. I want to get a new one. I want to get a big one that has a week of reserve. This one only lasts a day. And this was a gift from a family member, and it's great. But the real Black Forest clocks that go for those things are a couple $1,000. But it's a real mechanical clock, and what it is this little weight powers it, and you have to pull that every day. So I want to get a real Black Forest clock. All right, guys, that's enough of me rambling. I'll catch you guys later. I'm Videobob.